Welcome to the Fantasy Football Hub YouTube channel for a special video. Today, joined by FPL expert FPL Salah. Definitely need your advice today, my friend. We're going to be talking about the double game week in 25 and the blank in 26 in particular. Now, why are we doing this now? Because obviously, we're only a few game weeks away now from 25 and 26. So the transfers that we're making for game week 23 are going to be very important for those game weeks. So Abdul, in today's video, is going to be telling us who's doubling, the best players from those teams, and pretty much who to target right now, or at least be thinking about. Is that right, Abdul?
Yeah, Jack. So yeah, I'll try my best because obviously it's always a bit complicated when it comes to like double game weeks and blanks. But so at the moment, there are only actually two teams that have got a confirmed double in 25, which are Man City and Brentford. And then Liverpool and Luton's double hasn't been officially announced yet for game week 26, but we do expect it to be announced on Friday. Ben Krellin, etc. Like the fixture gurus all really expect it. I think Ben was saying that there's a 95% chance that I will get to 25. So we'll talk obviously about Liverpool and Luton players as well, because I think it's quite relevant. But I think firstly, I think who I think is the best team to target is Manchester City. And for me, I think we need to have three players from Man City first of all, because they're the only team actually Man City and Brentford are the two teams that have a double in 26, a double in 25, and then a fixture in 26.
Yeah.
So, and obviously with City's fixtures, with Chelsea and Brentford at home, really good fixtures, and good for, I'd say, defense and attack.
All right, so I've got your team up on screen, and I think that obviously we're going to go through team by team, but I think for you as well, maybe it's worth talking about what you're thinking with your own side, just because obviously you can say the best 12 players from these teams, they might not all be attainable. So let's start with City and your immediate thoughts, I guess, on Haaland and whether he is definitely nailed for you for 25, and if he is, when are you thinking of getting him back? I mean, obviously he's the star City player.
Yeah, I think Haaland is a tricky one, Jack, because I think most of us got rid of Haaland, so we're going to be looking to bring him back in. I think if you can bring him back in this week for free without taking a hit, then it's probably worth doing. If you need to take a hit, then I would wait until game week 24, because I mean, look, I think he starts, but I would guess that he starts, but it's by no means a given. So, and I do think even if he starts, he's not going to get 90 minutes. So, therefore, I won't be captaining him, for game week 23 at least. So I do think Haaland can wait, but I do think he is a player that, because I think by game week 25 he will be up there in terms of his minutes and fitness, quite possibly. So too risky to go without. So I think Haaland, we need to have him for game week 25. I think have a plan to get him in. You don't need to get him in this week. I don't think it's absolutely vital to get him in this week. If you can, it's fine. But coming to game week 25, I think it's very wise to get him in. The next two City assets are tricky right now, because for me, I had planned to have Foden, Haaland and Walker as my three City players. So Haaland and Foden are still on the menu because I've already got Foden, and I'll probably bring in Haaland either this week or next week for Alvarez. Now, for me, the third City player is going to be Kyle Walker, but he was benched last game. And I think we can all presume it was probably due to his personal reasons. I think we all kind of know about, we've heard in the news front pages. It does seem, I mean, we don't know that for sure, but it's too much of a coincidence that this was the first game. He started every single game in the league. He got benched in this game. I think it was probably just to give him a bit of a breather. So I do think I do think Walker will be nailed on from here on in, but at the same time, I think it's worth waiting on Walker. I mean, I was possibly going to bring him in this week for Pedro Porro, but I'm going to put that off now. Get one more week information. If he starts against Brentford, then I'll bring him in 24 or 25. And then I think the third City asset, I think it's really close between KDB and Alvarez. I think KDB, he is going to start games now, but I don't think he's going to get, I think he's going to get a lot of early subs. And, Alvarez just scored a brace. Pep could possibly start, Haaland, Foden and KDB in the same team. We don't know yet. So again, that's one thing holding me off getting Haaland this week as well, is that hold Alvarez, maybe squeeze one more game out of him, see how Pep, plays with the three of them. And then I could possibly even in game week 24, get rid of Solanke instead of Alvarez and have, Haaland, Alvarez, and Foden as my three City. So those are the top three City picks. I think as long as we've got three City players by game week 25, I think we'll all be fine in that sense.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, they do it like the standout team. Obviously, as you said, three games across 2 game weeks is massive. And it's City as well.
And they're all great fixtures, Jack, because even
Yeah.
from here, they've got Brentford, then they've got Everton at home, Chelsea at home, Brentford at home, and then Bournemouth. It's a fantastic run. Look, we do know there probably will be a bit of rotation in that City team, but I still think it's worth getting the players.
Yeah, 100% agree. Let's move on to the only other team that is playing twice in 25 and in 26 then, Brentford. Because a few weeks ago we might not have been thinking of any players. Obviously, one of the games in the double is that City away game, and then Liverpool at home. But this man on screen, who is second for predicted points for all players he's third predicted points for all players behind Haaland and De Bruyne.
Yeah,
is Ivan Toney. He's come back into the side. He looks great again. Another goal and assist. Three goal involvements now already since coming back. Is he an option?
For sure. I mean, definitely. I mean, I think Ivan Toney, look, I think he's a fantastic option, but it's going to be hard to get for a lot because a lot of guys are going to have, a Watkins, Solanke, Alvarez, Darwin.
Yeah.
So if you've got maybe, like a third player like an Archer or a Chris Wood, then, it probably is worth, going for Toney. But the thing is, look, they've got Man City this week. So I think this isn't the week to bring him in. If you are going to bring in Ivan Toney, it's got to be in game week 24 when they play Wolves. And then look, the double is as hard as it comes, but all Toney needs to get is maybe one goal and an assist over those 2 games, and he'll be fine. But then more importantly, he's got a fixture in game week 26 as well, and it's a good one against West Ham. So I mean, the thing is, I'm not overly excited about Toney, but I think he's a fine pick. And Brentford have got the most fixtures actually from now, from game week 25 up until game week 29, because they're the only team that they've got a double in 25 and they've got a guaranteed fixture in blank 26 and blank game week 29.
Yeah, it's massive.
So the quantity of fixtures are there, but not necessarily the quality, because then once they play the double against Liverpool and Man City, good fixture against West Ham, and then they play Chelsea and Arsenal. I mean, look, he could do well. I mean, he's one of those players. He's absolutely nailed to start, 90-minute man. He's on penalties. He's their main talisman. He's probably one of the most talismanic players in the league. If you look, the Brentford are so reliant on him when he's playing. So he could well do well over those fixtures.
Yeah, I don't know if I could go as far as to say that he's fixture proof, but I think for a player that's outside of the traditional big clubs, he is as close as anyone in the league to being that. Just because he has so many. His route to points is crazy. He just scores sort of random goals that don't really, kind of align with the flow of a game as well. I mean, we saw with his goal against Tottenham.
Yeah,
it's not an unusual goal for him to score where he'll just nick a goal somehow. Yeah, it was very fortunate. Yeah, he's on penalties, free kicks we saw as well. It's tough fixtures, but
he's just got so many avenues to point to track.
Exactly.
For an FPL asset, it's exactly.
Yeah, and he's predicted to score 11 points. That's his rough prediction for. If you think about it, City away, Liverpool at home.
Is that for the double game week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one goal. That's exactly what you said. That would be one goal, couple bonus and appearance points.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not a bad return. I mean,
no.
If I had Ivan Toney and you gave me 11 points for the double game week, I would take it.
Yeah, I mean, De Bruyne has predicted 11.5. It does seem high for Toney, but I mean, I think based on what you just said there,
I mean,
it does make sense.
It's probably because his minutes are so high. I mean, he's going to probably play 180 minutes over those 2 games, and the amount of minutes he's going to get is huge compared to any other double game week player.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else from Brentford then that could come in? I mean, defensively it's tough, isn't it? Because they will concede goals in there. Is there anyone at all?
I mean, the only one I would consider is Flecken in goals. I think he's. I mean, Brentford have got one of the best expected goals conceded in the league. I think they're 4th or 5th. But if you look at how many goals they get in, that shows you Flecken hasn't been great in goal. So I mean, but you know what? We saw what happened with Pickford. I had 1 clean sheet from Pickford from game week 1 till game week 10. I've got I wild carded him out in game week 10, and he's got seven clean sheets since. So
Incredible.
you never know.
Yeah. Pickford is just, he's having a great season. I mean, fair play to him.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's highest scoring keeper in the game now.
There you go. What a man. What a 7 clean sheets since game week 10 is just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I think he's joint now. He's joint for Golden Glove as well, isn't he? Just doing
8 clean sheets. Yeah,
it's not great for FPL owners that sold him, but yeah, nonetheless. All right, that's City and Brentford.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I mean, unless there's is there anyone else from Brentford, like another attacker or a midfielder?
I wouldn't really fancy anybody, to be honest.
I mean,
you've got Moppy there, but his minutes aren't really guaranteed. A Whistle might be back soon as well from the AFCON if they get knocked out. So yeah, I would say Tony and Flecken are the only two options I would actually consider. Right,
let's go to Liverpool now. As you said, at the time of recording, which is Thursday evening, the double hasn't been officially announced, although it does look very likely, as you said, that it is going to happen. I mean, first of all, is there any point kind of planning for it not to happen or to happen, or waiting and for it to be confirmed or not?
Yeah, I mean, look, if it doesn't get announced by Friday, so if it's not announced by Friday night, then I think we can safely assume it's not going to happen.
Right. Okay.
But as I said, all the fixture planners, the guys like Ben and James from FPL Planet, I really think it's a very, very high chance it's going to be in game week 25, because the amount of slots available later on in the week is really slim. There are not a lot of slots available because Liverpool they're in like all the cup competitions. So it could be a case of, if Liverpool stay in all the cup competitions and they delay this game, for later on, then it'll be like a very, very likely triple game week for Liverpool, which is really, really unlikely. So I mean, for me personally, I'm kind of going on the premise that they are going to get the double game week in 25. But as I said, we'll find out. We'll know before the game week 22 deadline. So obviously hold your transfers until the game week 23 deadline. So we'll obviously hold your transfers until then.
Yeah, it's probably not even worth me saying this, because we may well know at the time of that the video is posted whether the game is happening or not for sure. But a part of me does think that Liverpool would be loath to want to have that double in the week preceding the League Cup final, and that they are just kind of saying, okay, well, if we have to triple later, or we have to have another double later, whatever, so be it. We need to prioritize this week of build up for the final.
Yeah, I mean, it could well be. I mean, look, as I said, it's a high chance. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. I mean, there's always a chance that these things happen. Happened a few seasons ago with Man United. They had triple game week 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
But then I think they kind of learnt from that. And then last year they didn't make the same mistake. I can't remember which team it was. So that's why I'm quite confident, because they done it last year. I think they'll probably do it this season as well. But look, we'll find out. But I think we should kind of just wait until the wait until the deadline anyway, because it doesn't make a difference in terms of when we find out.
Sure thing. Well, according to predicted points here, as in we are not going to have the doubles predicted points of Liverpool factored in here because it's not announced on Fantasy Football Hub. So take these predicted points, I guess, a little bit with a pinch of salt for the Liverpool players. But nonetheless, if you are looking at Liverpool, which obviously everyone should be, who are the Liverpool players to target for 25?
I think, as things stand, Jack, for me, I'd say the top 3 picks, I would say, were Trent, Jota and Darwin. I know Conor Bradley's had a stormer the last 2 games. Trent's been benched the last 2 games, but I do think, I mean, I really, really can't see Trent losing his place to Conor Bradley. I think it's more chance that Conor Bradley might stay at right back, and then Klopp puts Trent in midfield possibly. But obviously, I think if you've not got Trent just now, it's worth waiting again. They've got Arsenal this week, so there's no rush to bring in Liverpool players this week. But again, coming up to game week 24, they've got Burnley at home. That's the game week you want to bring them in. And for me, at the moment, Mo Salah's return date is the 17th of February, which is game week 25. So if that goes to plan, then I think Jota is going to be a great option from game week 24. I think he'll be good for minutes, because when Salah comes back, it's highly unlikely that he's going to play 90 minutes in those 2 games in the double game week. Probably be kind of maybe a bench in the first game, and then possibly a start in the second game. So I don't think he's going to be an option for double game week 25 unless he comes back much earlier. So for me, Jota is probably the top option from the attack, and Darwin I think is going to be great. I think Darwin's first choice. He got 90 minutes again last game week. And he hit the woodwork about 4 times. I think he missed a penalty. I mean, it's always chaotic with Darwin,
He
but look,
played
he
really
gets the
well as
chances.
well.
He gets the chances. He gets in those goal scoring positions. So
Yeah.
I'd be happy with Darwin. And if I'm planning at the moment going for Trent, Jota, and Darwin for my 3 Liverpool. I might get 2 Liverpool, but if I get the 3, I'll be them
Really?
3. Yeah, and I
So
think
are you that kind of not confident, but are you that, I guess, well, up in the air with Salah and his potential minutes, even if he is back? You just don't see him playing enough to warrant him in your side?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm going on the timescales of his injury, right?
Yeah.
So as things stand, but like just say for example, he's going to be fit for Burnley. That changes everything. Obviously, then we need to get Salah in, because if he's going to get minutes at Burnley, then there's a good chance he gets 2 starts in the double game week. So it all really depends on that, and I think that's why it's really wise just to wait on Liverpool players. Obviously, if you've got them, keep them. If you haven't got them in, wait till game week 24, get the Arsenal fixture out of the way, and I think we'll have a lot more information by then as well in terms of when he's going to be back, etc. So
Okay.
at the moment, it's those 3. Also think Van Dijk's a good option as well. Solid.
Yeah.
He'll play 180 minutes over those 2 games as well.
All right, then let's move on to the final team now, Luton.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, like, no one's really talking about them, but we do have to remember they've just battered Brighton.
Yeah.
4-0. We can't just completely forget about them. It might not be the case of targeting a specific player, but perhaps if you're looking to lose one player and you have set money and you see that a certain Luton asset might fit that bracket, it could be a good buy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think for me, Doughty has been fantastic for Luton this season, and he's possibly a good option because Luton they've got Newcastle in 23, Sheffield United at home in 24, and then Man United at home and Liverpool away in the double game week, which isn't great. I mean, I think the Man United fixture, they could get something from that. I mean, I think Doughty is a decent option because of his price. I mean, he's one of those players where you can have him as your 5th midfield, your 5th defender, and just kind of keep him on the bench going forward. I think whether you get Doughty or not is really, really circumstantial and really team specific. I mean, I don't think Doughty's a bad option, but for me personally, and I think for a lot of other FPL managers, it's going to be hard to bring him in, just because I think a lot of our transfers is going to be on City players and Liverpool players and possibly Ivan Toney from Brentford. So I mean, Doughty is a good option, but I think he's way down the list for me.
Okay. Anyone else further up the pitch for Luton?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Adebayo got a hat trick, didn't he? Which brilliant hat trick. Great for him, but again, those forward slots. I mean, who are you gonna get him in instead of? I mean, you've got Darwin, you've got Alvarez, you've got Solanke, Watkins. Great option, but yeah, I would say again, in isolation, a fantastic option, but just compared to all other options that we have up front and the fixtures in the double game week, I think it's gonna be hard for a lot of managers to fit him in.
Yeah, I also, it's like if Salah isn't nailed and then money's not as much of an issue. I mean, even if you do go for a De Bruyne or something rather than a Salah, the money is not going to be too problematic, and then you're going to go for a Toney over an Adebayo, really, if you're choosing a doubler. But yeah, it's tough. He's obviously in great form, but I mean, he's a very differential pick if you wanted to go there.
Yeah, I mean, again, look, if you're a Maverick and you want to go for it, he's as far as differentials go. As you said, doesn't get much better than him.
All right, my friend, that is going to do it. Those are Abdul's, I guess, 12 to 15 best picks, the players that we should be targeting for the upcoming double.
Yeah,
can't wait for it to come. To be fair, that's when FPL gets fun. Yeah. Doubles and blanks when it gets a bit crazy.
I think this is when the real season starts for me.
Yeah,
from the doubles and blanks. For the engaged managers, it's going to be that's the time to make those rank gains.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you do want to have a play around with your own team, as you've seen on screen, I mean, if you like, you can come in here into the My Team tool, mess around with all your transfers, save your plans, make moves. I mean, you can play from game week to game week, and then you'll have the money in the bank, your game week rating, etc. Just see how you're looking for 25 and then 26 as well. Then the link to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub is down below. Actually, you can do this for free. So just go and try it. Don't even need to sign up. Go and do this for free. Link down below with your own team. Abdul, thank you very much as always, my friend. And catch you on the next game week.
See ya.